Remember back in like the early pandemic days
Oh,
when
yeah.
everybody was just like stuck at home,
Yeah.
glued to their TVs,
Oh,
just looking for,
the escape.
yeah, like a total escape.
Yeah.
And shows like Tiger King were just like,
Huge.
it was like pure chaos.
It was.
But then things kind of shifted a bit
Right.
and people started wanting something a little more like comforting, you know,
Yeah.
maybe even like hopeful.
Hopeful for sure.
And that's when Ted Lasso kind of came on the scene.
A warm hug.
It really was like a warm hug in TV form.
It's interesting how, like, what society needs is reflected in the entertainment that is popular at the time.
You're so right.
And Ted Lasso, with its kindness and optimism, it really tapped into that.
Yeah,
That yearning for something positive.
this season with like all the ups and downs it's had, it kept delivering those feel-good moments.
It did.
But we're not here to like recap the whole plot.
No.
We want to like look at what it is about this show.
Yeah.
What is it about this season
This particular season,
that keeps people coming back for more?
what keeps people so invested?
Yeah.
And from what fans and critics are saying, there are some pretty interesting reasons why.
Oh.
One thing that stands out to me is how this season kind of mirrors Ted's own journey.
Okay.
Like, remember how the season starts and ends with that close-up on Ted's face?
Oh,
It really bookends the whole season
Right.
around his emotional arc.
it's subtle,
Yeah.
but it's so effective.
And at the beginning, if you look closely,
Okay.
you can see the sadness and the worry in his eyes.
Yeah.
He misses his son.
Right. He's in America.
But by the end,
Mhm.
you get this sense of contentment,
Okay.
even peace, you know? Like he's found his way back home.
It's like the show itself is coming full circle.
Yeah.
And it plays into that question everyone's asking all season long.
The big one.
Will Ted stay in England
Right.
or go back to his son in the U.S.?
And it's not just a simple yes or no answer, is it? It's like this whole exploration of what he's prioritizing in life.
Right.
Career versus personal fulfillment.
Yeah.
What's more important?
That's something we all struggle with
I think so.
in our own lives.
For sure.
I think that's a big part of why people connect so much with Ted.
I agree.
He's so relatable.
Even with the quirky Americanisms.
Yes.
He struggles with real problems.
Yeah.
And the show doesn't shy away from showing that even someone as relentlessly positive as Ted
Right.
can still have doubts and insecurities.
He does.
It adds so much depth to his character.
It really does.
And it also challenges this idea we see so much in sports stories,
Yeah.
that winning is everything.
Right. Like, that's the only thing that matters.
This season really doubles down on the idea that success isn't just about trophies and championships.
What else is it about then?
It's about building something meaningful,
Right.
leaving a positive mark on the world,
Okay.
creating family on and off the field.
And speaking of family, it's not just Ted's journey that resonates with people.
No, it's not.
Think about Rebecca this season.
Okay.
She's basically obsessed with beating Rupert.
Her ex,
Yeah, who owns West Ham.
Richmond's rivals.
It's like high school drama, but with way higher stakes.
It's a classic underdog story.
Yeah.
And on a deeper level, it reflects what a lot of us go through
Okay.
trying to move on from a relationship,
Right.
but still feeling like you need to prove yourself,
Oh, yeah.
show them what they're missing.
It's so true.
And then you add in that whole storyline with Zava,
Oh, yeah.
this legendary player that every team wants.
He's like a rock star
He is.
of the soccer world.
I think Zava's arrival is like a test for everybody.
How so?
He represents this flashy, unpredictable element, and it challenges Richmond as a team and Rebecca as an owner.
It's like he's this quick fix, like the instant gratification everyone wants.
An easy solution.
But it doesn't really address the deeper issues
Yeah.
that Richmond and even Rebecca are dealing with.
It reminds me of how we sometimes look for validation externally or quick fixes
Yeah.
instead of focusing on building something sustainable.
That comes from within.
Exactly.
You're hitting on something really important here.
I think so.
It's like the show is saying, look, real growth takes time
It does.
and effort.
And it's not about shortcuts or chasing fame.
Right.
And that message is woven into a lot of the character arcs this season.
It is.
Take Jamie Tart, for instance.
Good.
He starts off as this egotistical player,
Yeah.
all about scoring goals and showing off.
Totally.
But then he goes through this incredible transformation.
He does.
It's like watching a butterfly emerge from a cocoon.
I love that.
He goes from selfish to selfless.
Right.
He realizes that being the best isn't about individual glory. It's about contributing to the team's success.
He literally learns to pass the ball.
He does.
Not just in soccer, but in life.
Right.
He becomes a better teammate,
Yeah.
better friend.
Even a better son to his very demanding father.
Oh, yeah, he does.
I think his development is one of the most satisfying parts of the season.
It's a great arc.
It really speaks to this idea that true strength comes from humility.
Okay.
From learning to put the needs of others before your own.
And his dynamic with Roy Kent is just brilliant.
Oh my gosh.
His former rival turned mentor.
It's amazing.
It's hilarious watching Roy.
He's gruff, retired player.
Trying to teach Jamie about humility and teamwork. By making him do these crazy workouts.
At the crack of dawn.
I love it.
It's both heartwarming and hilarious.
It is.
And you see both of them growing as individuals.
Yeah.
Learning from each other in these unexpected ways.
It reinforces this idea that finding your tribe can make all the difference.
Your people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Those relationships, those connections
right.
are at the heart of what makes Ted Lasso so special.
I agree.
And it's not just about the feel-good stuff either.
No.
This season tackles some more serious themes, too.
Like Colin's storyline.
Yeah.
That was a bit heavier, dealing with him coming out as gay.
It's definitely a powerful storyline.
It is.
And it's important for representation.
It is.
But what I love is how Ted Lasso handles it.
How so?
It's sensitivity and humor.
Yeah.
Never shying away from the real challenges, but also highlighting the beauty of finding acceptance.
And living authentically.
It shows how Ted has created this incredible culture at Richmond.
He has.
Where people feel safe to be themselves.
Absolutely.
To share their vulnerabilities.
The Lasso effect in action.
It is.
Building community based on trust, empathy, and understanding.
It makes you think, couldn't we all use a little more of that?
Couldn't we all?
In our own lives?
We could.
So we've got Ted's emotional journey, Rebecca's battle with her past, Jamie's transformation, and Colin finding acceptance.
Yeah.
But then there's Nate.
Oh, Nate.
He takes kind of a dark turn this season.
He does.
Nate's story is a complicated one.
It is.
It explores the dangers of fame, the temptation to compromise your values.
For success.
He makes some pretty questionable choices.
He does.
But the show doesn't give us easy answers.
No.
It makes us wrestle with questions of forgiveness, second chances, and whether someone like Nate can redeem himself.
After hurting everyone.
It leaves you thinking.
It does.
And it's another example of how Ted Lasso isn't afraid to explore the messy side of things.
The human side.
Exactly.
It's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Right.
It acknowledges the darkness, the struggles.
Yeah.
But it always has this underlying belief in the possibility of growth and redemption.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We're just getting started.
We are.
We've talked about some of the overarching themes.
Yeah.
But what about the specific moments this season that really resonated with fans?
Those key moments.
Because Ted Lasso just has this way of packing an emotional punch.
It does.
Like that scene where Ted tears down the Believe sign.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That scene gives me chills just thinking about it.
I know.
It's after Richmond goes on that losing streak.
Right.
And the players are doubting themselves.
Yeah.
The whole atmosphere is heavy with defeat.
Yeah.
And then Ted gives that incredible speech,
He definitely.
reminding them that belief isn't about a sign on the wall.
Right.
It's about what's inside each of them.
It's about believing in yourself, your worth, your ability to overcome challenges.
It's like he's saying, you got this.
You got this.
It's so powerful because it goes beyond the sports context.
Okay.
It speaks to our human need for self-belief.
Right.
For resilience.
Especially when we're facing adversity.
Exactly.
And it reminds us that sometimes we need to tear down those external symbols.
We rely on.
And reconnect with that inner strength.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That inner strength.
Yeah.
It's not just the serious stuff, though.
Oh, for sure.
Let's not forget about the show's humor.
It's so good.
It's clever, it's witty, often just silly.
Like, who could have predicted that biscuits
Right.
would be such a comedic goldmine?
Right, but even the humor has a purpose.
Okay, what's that?
It, like, disarms you.
Oh,
It makes us more receptive.
to the deeper stuff.
Yeah, to those deeper messages the show's trying to say.
Like a spoonful of sugar to help the wisdom go down.
Exactly.
I love that.
It's this perfect balance of heart and humor
Yeah.
that makes Ted Lasso so unique.
And then there are those heartwarming moments
Oh, yeah.
that stick with you. Like when the team gets together to fix Sam's restaurant
Oh, yeah.
after it's vandalized.
That scene is pure Ted Lasso magic.
It is.
It's like a perfect illustration of the power of community.
Okay.
The way people can rally around each other when things are tough.
And it's not even just about fixing the damage.
No.
It's about restoring Sam's sense of belonging. showing him that he's loved.
And valued.
It's like this reminder that even small acts of kindness can make a huge impact.
They can.
On someone's life.
For sure.
It ties into this recurring theme of found family.
Yes.
That runs throughout the show.
Richmond becomes more than just a team.
Yeah.
It's a family for all these characters.
Found family is such a fascinating concept.
It is.
It speaks to that human need for connection.
Yeah.
For belonging.
Especially in a world that can feel so isolating sometimes.
Yeah, totally.
It's about finding those people who accept you.
Flaws and all.
Exactly.
And who will support you no matter what.
Through thick and thin.
Like the team rallying around Colin when he comes out.
Yeah.
Or Rebecca being there for Keely.
When she's struggling.
Yeah, with her business.
It's a beautiful counterpoint to like the traditional family structures we see on TV.
You're right.
It suggests that family isn't always about blood ties.
Yeah.
It's about the bonds we choose to create.
With the people who get us.
Exactly.
And sometimes those bonds are formed through difficult conversations.
Right.
Like when Rebecca confronts Rupert.
About his behavior.
Not even for herself.
Right, for his new wife.
That scene is so powerful.
It is.
It shows how much Rebecca has grown.
She has.
She's not letting Rupert control her emotions anymore.
She's not.
She's standing up for what's right.
Even if it means facing someone who hurt her.
It's like she's finally breaking free.
From his influence.
Yeah.
And choosing her own happiness.
It reminds us that sometimes the best revenge
is living well.
Yeah.
Showing someone that you're not defined by their actions.
It's a great message.
It is.
Okay, so we've talked about Ted.
Yeah.
Rebecca, Jamie, Colin, Nate.
But we can't forget about Keely.
Oh, we can't?
She's got her own set of challenges this season.
She does.
As she launches her PR firm.
Keely's storyline is interesting.
How so?
Because it explores what happens when you step outside your comfort zone.
When you take risks.
And face new challenges.
And she stumbles along the way.
She does.
Like when she hires Shandy.
Yeah, her friend.
Who ends up being kind of a disaster.
It's relatable.
It is. We all make mistakes.
Especially when we're trying new things.
But even when she messes up, Keely always picks herself up.
And keeps going.
That resilience is inspiring.
It is.
It shows that even strong, independent women like Keely need support.
And guidance.
It's about finding your tribe.
Your people.
The people who believe in you and challenge you.
Help you grow.
Which is basically what Ted does for everyone at Richmond.
He did.
He's like a catalyst for positive change.
Yes.
Inspiring those around him to be their best selves.
So after all this talk about hope and kindness, biscuits and found families, let's get to the big question.
Okay.
Did this season of Ted Lasso live up to the hype?
Well, that's where things get interesting.
How so?
There have been some mixed reactions.
This is the final season.
Yeah. Some fans felt like it strayed from the show's original formula.
I think it got a little too sentimental or predictable.
I can see that.
Some of the storylines did feel a little neatly tied up.
Yeah, they did.
But I think it's important to remember that Ted Lasso was always about growth and transformation.
Okay.
And sometimes those journeys do have happy endings.
It's true.
And even if a few plot points felt convenient, the show never lost its signature warmth and humor.
It didn't.
It still delivered on those core themes of kindness, empathy.
And the power of human connection.
Exactly.
And let's be real, sometimes we need that feel-good energy.
Do you?
Especially in a world that can feel so cynical and divided.
I think that's what makes Ted Lasso so special.
What do you mean?
It reminds us that there's still good in the world.
Okay.
That people can be kind.
Uh-huh.
And that even when things are tough, we can choose to believe in something better.
So even if this season wasn't perfect, it still left us with hope.
It did.
That's a pretty remarkable accomplishment for any show.
It sparked a lot of conversation.
It did.
About what makes a show truly great.
Yeah, like is it about flawless plot lines or is it about connecting with the characters?
Feeling something.
Right.
That's the beauty of art, isn't it?
I think so.
It's subjective.
What resonates with one person might not work for another.
But with Ted Lasso,
it
seems like people were really craving that positivity.
That sense of community.
Especially after the pandemic.
People were looking for comfort.
And hope.
And a reminder that things could get better.
And the show gave them that.
They did.
Biscuits and all.
It's a testament to the show's creators.
It is.
They managed to capture the zeitgeist.
Okay.
They made something that felt timely and timeless.
So what do you think makes a show great?
That's a good question.
Is it about escaping reality?
Or finding reflections of our own experiences in it?
Yeah.
For me, it's about the emotional impact.
Okay.
Does it make me laugh? Cry, think.
Does it stay with you?
After it's over.
I get that.
Like a good book or a song that gets stuck in your head.
Yeah.
It changes you.
And I think Ted Lasso did that for a lot of people.
I think so.
It offered a new perspective.
Uh-huh.
A reminder that kindness and empathy can be really powerful.
They can be.
It's like Ted always says, football is life.
But maybe it's more like life is a game and we can choose to play it with heart.
And that's a message worth spreading.
It is.
So next time you're looking for a show to watch, think about what you need.
Yeah.
Are you looking for comfort, inspiration? A good laugh.
Whatever it is, I bet there's a show out there for you.
You might even find your next obsession.
You might.
Well, that's it for this deep dive into Ted Lasso.
It's been fun.
Thanks for joining us.
Of course.
And be sure to subscribe to our channel for more TV recaps.
We'll have more.
We've got tons more shows to unpack.
We do.
You know, it feels like Ted Lasso really connected with people who were just looking for like a little bit of light.
Yeah.
In a pretty dark time.
In a world that felt pretty dark. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true. We were all craving that connection.
Yeah.
And that sense of hope.
Makes you wonder, though. What is it about like these characters and their stories that makes them resonate so much with us?
Well, maybe it's because deep down we all want to believe that people can change.
Yeah.
That kindness can win out, you know?
Yeah.
That even when things are tough, we can still find
joy
and connection.
It's like watching a live-action fairy tale.
I love that.
But with more football.
And biscuits.
And biscuits, of course.
Of course.
But it's not that the show ignores, like, the struggles.
The real-life struggles.
Real life,
It deals with grief and anxiety, betrayal.
Uh-huh.
But it always does it with this
optimism.
This underlying sense of optimism.
Yeah. It never loses that hopeful tone.
No.
Even when things get messy.
Exactly. And that's a tough balance to strike. It would be so easy to get overly sentimental.
Right.
But Ted Lasso manages to stay grounded while still offering that hope.
It's funny. I was reading some reviews of the season.
Oh, yeah.
And some critics were saying that the show's optimism felt unrealistic.
Interesting.
Like almost too good to be true.
I think that's an interesting critique.
Yeah.
I think it kind of speaks to how cynical we've become as a society.
Yeah.
Like we're so used to seeing darkness and negativity on our screens that when something genuinely positive comes along,
we don't know what to do with it.
We're almost suspicious of it.
We're suspicious of happiness.
Yeah.
But maybe that's why Ted Lasso is so refreshing.
How so?
Because it reminds us it's okay to embrace the good stuff.
Yeah.
To believe in happy endings.
Even if they're not always perfect.
Yeah, not always realistic.
Exactly.
But, you know, those happy endings can happen.
They can.
Maybe by watching these characters choose kindness and optimism.
Even when things are tough, maybe we can be inspired to do the same.
In our own lives.
In our own lives.
Yeah, it's like that ripple effect.
A little bit of Ted Lasso's positivity.
The spreading outwards.
Touching everyone he encounters.
Wouldn't that be something?
It would be a beautiful thing.
So what's your biggest takeaway from this season?
You know, for me, it's the power of belief.
Okay.
Belief in yourself, belief in others. Belief that even when things are tough, things can get better.
I love that.
It's a powerful message.
It is.
And I think we all need to hear it sometimes.
We do.
What about you?
What about me?
What resonated most with you?
I think for me, it's the reminder that connection is everything.
Yeah.
Whether it's Ted and Coach Beard, the friendships on the team, Rebecca and her goddaughter.
Right.
It's those relationships that make life meaningful.
Beautifully said.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
Well, that about wraps up our look at this season of Ted Lasso.
It's been a journey.
It has been a roller coaster of emotions.
So many heartwarming moments.
And of course, biscuits.
Always biscuits.
Always biscuits.
It's a show that stays with you.
It does.
And it leaves us with a lot to think about.
If you love this deep dive into Ted Lasso, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more insightful TV recaps.
We've got plenty more shows to unpack.
We've got a lot more to explore together.
We do.
Thanks for listening.